Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylan. Today we are going to start the second chapter of the grammar course. It's all going to be about prepositions. This chapter is going to include two very big lessons. It's going to be this one, la préposition à, and it's going to be also tomorrow, la préposition de. Those two are fairly big, but after that it's pretty easy. Not that this one is hard, it's just that we have a lot to cover. A lot. On the book, we are going to go from page 99 to 106. The preposition à in French is one of the most commonly used prepositions. And there are a few things that confuse a lot of French learners. The first one is that à can be translated in English too. To, at, or in, but also for, from, or per. So there's a lot of things to see. And probably what is the most confusing is that à will change depending on the article after. So when à is followed by an article such as le or les, it's going to change. Let's see them right away. We have à is the preposition, but when à is followed by le, it's going to become au, au, when followed by a masculine noun. So you know that le is used for a masculine noun, well then à plus le is going to make o. À and les is going to make aux, o as well, pronounced exactly the same. So that's for a plural noun, no matter if it's masculine or feminine. And then we have à la. This one is not going to change. When it's followed by a feminine noun, it's not going to change. Then we have à and l'apostrophe. This one is when the noun starts with a vowel or a silent H. So we only have à and le that change into o, and à and les that change into o as well. Okay? So let's see when to use it. We use the preposition à to talk about location. J'habite au Canada. Au Canada. So Canada is a masculine country, remember when we saw that? So we are going to use au. J'habite au Canada. Je vais à Paris. À Paris. Je vais à Paris. So in this case, when followed by a city, it's only going to be à. We are going to see more about this when we see the verb aller. Another one. Nous sommes à la piscine. Nous sommes à la piscine. So, piscine, feminine singular, so à la. We also use the preposition à to talk about distances. Time, age, and rates. Very vague, I know. J'arrive à 5 heures. J'arrive à 5 heures. Il s'est marié à 35 ans. Il s'est marié à 35 ans. L'employé est payé à l'heure. L'employé est payé à l'heure. So heure starts with a silent H, so it's going to be à l'apostrophe. You have more examples in the book. Then we have manner and characteristic. Une femme aux cheveux blonds. Une femme aux cheveux blonds. You can find that as well in instruction. Laver ce manteau à la machine à laver. Laver ce manteau à la machine à laver. So here we have a second A actually. It's a part of the noun machine à laver. Washing machine. To talk about possession, cette voiture est à Jean. Cette voiture est à Jean. Or, c'est à toi. C'est à toi. As you can see, when you talk about possession, it's usually with the verb être. We are going to come back on this one. Food and how it's made. Un sandwich au thon. Un sandwich au thon. Un thé à la vanille. Un thé à la vanille. Specific ways of transportation, and we have three here. We have je suis venu à pied. À pied. Pied in this case is only one. Not too sure why, but that's how it is. Il est venu à cheval. Il est venu à cheval. Elles sont venues à vélo. Elles sont venues à vélo. In this case, it's only going to stay à. We don't have anything else after. To express pain, we always going to use à. Or à la, or etc. J'ai mal au pied. J'ai mal au pied. Tu as mal à l'estomac. Tu as mal à l'estomac. To name of festivities that take A, we have à Noël, à Pâques, à Pâques. Now this one is very interesting and we are going to see more about it tomorrow as well, to show the purpose of something. For example, un sac à main, a handbag. But un verre à vin, This is just to talk about the purpose of the glass. If you say un verre de vin, which we're going to see tomorrow, un verre de vin, we are talking about the wine in this case. A glass of wine, not a wine glass, okay? Another very common use of the preposition à is ways to say goodbye. So we have à demain, see you tomorrow, à vendredi, ou à samedi, à dimanche, so see you on Friday, à bientôt, see you soon, à plus tard, see you later, etc. So a few expressions with être, we already saw them, we have être à, to belong to, être à l'heure, to be on time, être au courant has nothing to do with the actual courant, which is the electricity. It's just to be informed. So for example, il est toujours à l'heure, ce stylo est à mon père, A few expressions with c'est and à, c'est bon à savoir, c'est difficile à dire, or c'est impossible à dire. We are going to see more in a minute. You can do the first exercise of the chapter, exercise 2.1. Now the verbs followed by the preposition à. We have a lot of verbs followed by the preposition à, and I get that question a lot. So a verb can be followed by the preposition à and then by a noun, or by an infinitive verb. The preposition doesn't belong with the second verb or the noun. It always belongs to the verb before. This is very important to understand. And it will never change. Unfortunately, there's no way to know which one. So you have a long list on the book. I'm going to give you like 8, I think. But just try to see the one that you use in your language and just remember those. That's the most efficient way to learn a language. What do you actually use? You don't need to learn what you don't use. I have no idea how to talk about mechanic in English because I don't really have to. Besides the basics. You know what I mean? Study only what you're gonna use. So let's see a few. For the first one, we are going to start with the one followed by a noun. The very common one, acheter quelque chose à quelqu'un. So in this case, it can have something between the verb and the preposition. You can say acheter à quelqu'un, but it's better to say acheter quelque chose à quelqu'un, to buy something for someone. Demander quelque chose à quelqu'un, envoyer quelque chose à quelqu'un, faire mal à quelqu'un, jouer à quelque chose, plaire à quelqu'un, répondre à quelqu'un, téléphoner à quelqu'un. Let's see 3 examples. Il a fait mal à sa sœur. Le touriste demande son chemin à un officier de police. On a envoyé une carte de Noël à nos amis. Okay? So that's for when it's followed by a noun. When you're good, you can do the exercise 2.2. Now, second part, when it's followed by an infinitive verb. A lot of people are confused about it, why it's infinitive. After a, the one with the accent, not the verb avoir, that's a big difference. After the preposition a, the verb is always going to be infinitive. If you follow the conjugation course, you already know everything about it. But after a, infinitif. Aider à faire quelque chose. Aider à faire quelque chose. Chercher à faire quelque chose. Chercher à faire quelque chose. Commencer à faire quelque chose. Commencer à faire quelque chose. Hésiter à faire quelque chose. Hésiter à faire quelque chose. Se mettre à faire quelque chose. Se mettre à faire quelque chose. Réfléchir à faire quelque chose. Réfléchir à faire quelque chose. Servir à faire quelque chose. Servir à faire quelque chose. Tenir à faire quelque chose. Tenir à faire quelque chose. Let's see three. J'hésite à quitter mon travail. J'hésite à quitter mon travail. So, the preposition is with the verb hésiter, but it's followed by an infinitive. Okay? Cet outil sert à couper du bois. Cet outil sert à couper du bois. Cela commence à m'embêter. Cela commence à m'embêter. When you feel comfortable, you can do the exercise 2.3. We have 3 more points to see that we already saw in the conjugation course, but it's a great way to just review everything. So we can have être plus adjective plus a. I told you we're going to come back on that one. So it's going to be être plus adjective ou past participle plus a plus infinitive verb. So this is used to describe the state of someone or someone's feelings. So for example, we have être prêt, prête à, to be ready to, être autorisé, autorisé à, être habitué, habitué à, être occupé, occupé à. For example, je suis prêt à partir. Je suis prêt à partir. On est habitué à dormir tard. On est habitué à dormir tard. Okay? A little exercise 2.4. Now we are going to see le seul à. Le seul à, and also in the next point, which is going to be about ordinal numbers, we don't have a verb. The preposition is right after le seul. Le seul can also change. I use le seul as an example, but it can be la seule, les seuls, ou les seuls as well. It can also be nombreux, for example. Nombreux, nombreuses. So nombreux, nombreuses, obviously, are always plural. For example, il était le seul à venir me voir. Il était le seul à venir me voir. Ils sont nombreux à chercher la réponse. Ils sont nombreux à chercher la réponse. Another quick exercise, number 2.5. Now the ordinal number plus a. Same thing, it's going to be followed by an infinitive verb, but we don't have a verb before the preposition. And the ordinal number is going to be preceded by the article le, la ou les. So we can have le premier, la première, les premiers, les premières. For deuxième, second, we have le deuxième, la deuxième, les deuxièmes, les deuxièmes. But in this case, this is not an ordinal number. We are going to also have le dernier à. Le dernier. Okay? Le premier, le dernier. So, le dernier, la dernière, les derniers, les dernières. For example, ils sont les derniers à se coucher. Ils sont les derniers à se coucher. Je suis la deuxième à arriver. Je suis la deuxième à arriver. Exercise 2.6. I know that the lesson was a little bit long and very heavy, but like I said, this is one of the most used prepositions, so make sure to know what you are going to use. Don't overstudy, study what you are going to use. So I will see you tomorrow for another lesson like this one. We are going to see everything about the preposition de. So I will see you tomorrow. À demain.